Sounds good. Okay, so just trying to. All right, so welcome everyone to the 2021 Spring Capstone exhibition called Interomnia, presented by the New Media Art Space at Baruch College. My name is Dominica Cassell. I was the professor for the capstone this semester, and I'm very excited about the work that we're about to see and the incredible projects that came to fruition during this semester. I'll talk a little bit about the exhibition briefly, and then I'll allow the students to take it away and share their work. And they're going to be doing 5-minute introductions to their pieces and speaking a bit about the process that they have endured during this very difficult time, I would say. So a little bit about Interomnia. So Interomnia is a remix of the Latin word omni iter, which translates to every journey. Every soul is on a distinct path. Each voice speaks a different story. Interomnia, the everyman's journey remixed. We created a new word from the phrase omni iter because this exhibition is too unique to be bound by existing language. The word inter has Latin meanings such as connecting, between, among, together, and around. This exhibition has been curated on the basis of this connection. The works may seem vastly different on a surface level, but they share experiences of the artist's journey, relationships, and evolution, bringing them together as one. Interomnia is evocative of a new world, an interstellar planet, an unforged journey. In entering this world, viewers will be able to escape from reality and recontextualize daily life through the lenses of our artists. The 3 paths in this exhibition show the every journey over the course of the semester. The students discussed many pressing issues, such as the role of social media, the impact of new media arts, and how internal and external challenges such as the COVID-19 pandemic and mental health impact us as individuals. Introspective is a deep look within, a reflection of one's experiences. Interorbits takes you through a journey where one faces trials and tribulations to get to an end. Interlinear features the changes that occur to oneself after the journey is complete. Whether it is into the essence of the human experience in introspective, or the trials and tribulations of the voyage of interorbis, or perhaps the transformation and rebirth of a changed being through interlinear, every person is on a journey. So thank you very much, and I'm really looking forward to all of the artists sharing their work with us today.
So we can begin the first section, which is introspective, and then Pauline's going to give us a description of it.
Introspective pieces deal with how each individual experiences things in relation to their personal journeys. The subject's view of their surroundings and their internal thoughts are common motifs. Identity, individuality. What are you really? Are you truly yourself when you're with people or when you're alone? What does it mean to be you? Here you'll understand what it means to experience something for yourself versus experiencing something vicariously through someone else.
Okay. Hi, I'm Sally. So my project is called 24 Hours, and pretty much as soon as the pandemic started, my daily routine kind of fell apart, and it took a while for me to get back on track. But when I did, I've been stuck in this cycle ever since. So for this project, I photographed every single item that I end up picking up on a day-to-day basis. And just with me being at home every day, I'm like forced to think about my product consumption. And yeah, I've never been more conscious about my purchase behavior than now. Yeah, that's 24 hours.
Could you start at the top at the hand monster that slightly looks a bit phallic? Okay, so my whole project was based around this idea of intrusive thoughts and how oftentimes when you're dealing with anxiety, therapists or people who help you tell you to push them out of your mind like clouds. But I feel oftentimes that anxieties and these kind of like eerie like daydreams tend to be these imaginary friends you can't get away from. So I decided to play heavily with that idea by using 3D models and data bending to incorporate such creatures into these portraits of different people. So the first example I was going based off, I wanted to do a cutesier example originally, but I found myself like really obsessed with this idea of doing a spider type monster when I came across this finger hand monster, which I thought was a cool way to incorporate it, since some intrusive thoughts tend to be a little bit like, for lack of a way to describe it simply, a bit horny, but in a scary way. And I think that would be a nice way to represent it as this kind of dark monster that comes out of the depths to follow you, much like many sexual taboos. Could you roll to the next one? For this one, I wanted to do a bit of a lighter theme and base it solely on this kind of daydream that I had as a kid, where I always wanted Pokemon to be in my life, and as a way to like escape kind of the things I would be dealing with. But the same thing with any type of fantasy creature being in the real world, there would be a lot of scary aspects that come with it. So I decided to pick specifically this monster because not only is it a Pokemon that represents the idea of wanting to be something so badly as a Mimikyu, it's not actually a Pikachu. It's acting as if a Pikachu. So it's actually being a bit more removed from the situation of being something it wants to be. The same way that these ideas come floating through your head of like where you should be, what it should be like, how you should be comfortable. Could you go to the next one, please? This one's a bit more to the point, and it's based more solely on anxieties. Because back when I used to go to the city a lot more, when I'd be on the subway a lot, I constantly felt this idea of I was constantly being watched when I'd walk through train stations. And I know it's a bit of a silly thought, but I feel like a lot of people can relate to that, just that idea of constantly being watched. So I tried to find a 3D model that kind of felt like someone we would see in passing, but not really know. For example, like when I was showing this to some people, they thought it was like from Half-Life or like this other villainous creature, when it's really just completely another man. So it just constantly felt like you're being surrounded by these things that you recognize when it's really not that at all. It's all in your mind. Can you go to the next one? And this last one, I kind of focused mainly on the idea of the fear of the unknown, specifically just the fear of the dark that we all grew up kind of with. I wanted to have this eerie kind of presence coming out of the basement to seem at like the same way that ideas creep up on you and you can't really escape them and they're constantly coming out of the dark and attacking you. I wanted to use tentacles as a way to represent the way that they reach out and grab you, the same way that anxieties grab you. So that's my project. Thank you.
Hello. So I'm Austin. I made the family attic. Essentially, the idea behind this project is that each of my family members will be made into a symbolic object that represents who they are to me. And the overall picture will be a collection of different items in an attic setting. Each object will be clickable and provide like a narrative of like our favorite memory together, or just like a favorite story with us together. And they're all in the pixel art format. So essentially on the website that I coded, all the different objects that I'm displaying in the trailer right now, they'll be clickable, and it'll all have these animated GIFs that I made, just providing just a narrative of me and my family. So that's basically my project.
Look, hey, yeah, I know vets, I know ops, I know real ones. Pops told me that the dealing that's just to feel some. I know way too many people here and now it's weird. Oh, this is not the life I chose, it chose it. So I let it fly, I feel like the Buster Bros. I just hit a stain on rap shit. Words are weapons, and I know they'll never grasp it. From the underworld winning was just a free throw. I'ma call up Chris and Slick OG and get them 3-0. Like taking all these gambles got me pulling like casinos. And my money be sharp, why you think it's color scene? Look, I'm at the top of my class, yeah. My only comp is my past. Okay, way I whip a track up just like a potion. I'ma grab a mic and put him under hypnosis. Flows fit like Weezy in this bitch. All of these rappers that I smoke, she swear she asks us about the shit, but I can tell this ain't the first she roll. And you can see it in her eyes, this ain't the first like that we rolled. New pack just touched down, yeah. She got me feeling like the GOAT. And shit, I know I am ballin' out, exotic in my hand. 5-man, full court press, girl, go bend. This drum out the window, turn the scene to a ghost drive. I feel like the Buster Bros. I just hit a stain on this rap shit. Words are weapons, and I know they'll never grasp it. Yeah. All these words are weapons. Okay, oh shit, yeah.
All right, is this thing on?
And this begins the section Inter Orbis.
Alrighty, we are live, as you can see. It is 11:02 Monday morning, or afternoon, I'm sorry. It's early for me, so I'm just gonna call it morning, okay? Let's see. Okay, Turtle Bear, and what is up, guys? Good morning, Lisa. Peachy, welcome back. How am I doing today? You could say that I'm doing peachy, just peachy. I'm sorry. And Lisa, peachy, good morning. Just peachy. Okay. I don't want to humor you guys for too long or for too hard, so let's start gaming, shall we? I want to raid someone else later at the end of the stream, so I will see you guys then. Stay tuned, okay? Okay, let's start. Okay, I'm gonna end stream here because I'm tired, but we can raid somebody now. Bubbly Riz earlier gave me a suggestion, so let's go raid her. Let's get this girl to 100 followers. Good night, guys. Thank you for a fun stream. Bye.
Whoa, what's happening?
What is happening?
Wow, oh my goodness, thank you. Thank you so much.
After this one, I'm going to sleep.
Dude, no way. Thank you for the raid. Holy crap.
Hey.
Jesus. Deaf? Is that short for Daphne?
Listen.
Why are you like this?
Yeah, sorry. You know.
Is that short for
we're getting
Daphne?
snow.
Listen.
What?
Oh my
like
god,
this?
I forget.
Yeah,
Let me
sorry,
catch up
you
on
know,
chat first.
Is that short for getting
Listen.
Oh my
like
god,
this?
I
Yeah,
forget. Let me catch up
you
on
know,
chat. Thank you for the follow. Y'all are so good.
Someone said restart cheating.
Oh my god. Holy crap. Aw, thank you. Y'all are amazing. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. Okay, I'll be getting off. So, thanks guys for a fun stream. See you tomorrow. Okay, hello, we're live and I'm back. Sorry I took a 2-day break. I don't know, I just didn't really feel
hello,
like
we're
streaming.
live and I'm back.
The last time I
sorry
was
I took a
here,
2-day
some of you guys
break.
saw, like, that was like, I don't know, I just
Okay,
really
hello.
disappointing. Okay, yes, like, that guy, he really asked to smell my chair, like, did you guys, like, that was kind of funny, but, like, thank you for the warm welcome back, guys. I'm stuttering a lot. I can't enunciate, but alright. Thank you, guys. I'll shut up now, so we can just start gaming, okay? Alright, I'm hopping into it, okay? Okay. Alright, who should I play today?
Hi, so I'm Daphne, and that was my project, eGirl. Sorry, let me move to YouTube. So I kind of wanted to capture a personal experience and hobby that I ventured into during quarantine. And there were obviously a lot of ups and downs that I still experience every day that I go live, which were either highlighted with like a white background and a text, which would highlight like the positive or normal experiences that I would go through, or black background and text, which are like weird encounters or negative encounters that I sometimes go through. And both I was surprised that I didn't expect from live streaming at all. But ultimately, what brings me back is the community that has had my back plenty of times. Thank you.
All right. Is this thing It's early for me, so I'm just gonna call it morning, okay? Let's see. Okay, Turtle Bear, what is up, guys? Good morning, Lisa. Peachy, welcome back. How am I doing today? You could say that I'm doing peachy, just peachy. I'm sorry. And Lisa, good morning. Okay. I don't want to humor you guys for too long or for too hard, so let's start gaming, shall we? I want to raid someone else later at the end of the stream, so I will see you guys then. Stay tuned, okay? Okay. Let's start. Let's get
Hi, I'm Linda. I created the animation loss because even the most charismatic people experience days where they're feeling lost and feeling emptiness in life. Especially during COVID-19, people are experiencing some kind of loss and loneliness due to social distancing and staying at home all the time. So we all have these feelings from time to time, and these feelings are personal, so everyone's experience will be different, and having these feelings can harm one's mental health, especially if these feelings have lasted for a long time. And then in Lost, the negative feelings are illustrated as balloons, and balloons are known to symbolize the act of letting go and holding on. In this case, balloons are represented as negative feelings and emotions, and balloons will pop throughout the healing process, and the character is to touch the balloons and just move on in life. And as human beings, we tend to experience negative feelings from time to time. I feel it is essential to release all these feelings and move on in life. This is my animation. Thank you.
Alrighty, hi everybody. I'm Max, and that was part of my game Upstream interactive flat game series. So it follows the story of a timid fish as he moves into a new city to begin his adult life. And the story was definitely inspired by my own life, especially parts of my past 4 years at Baruch. And I decided to go with the hand-drawn style mixed with photos and add different assets to mimic the feelings of childhood and to bring a storyboard quality to the work. I've become kind of obsessed with blending digital worlds and hand-drawn elements recently. I feel like it really elevates the work that I make and is the easiest way to establish my own style. And then I went with fish and underwater theme just because I feel like it connects to my Pisces sign, and I've always felt a bond with water and the ocean. And I thought that it would make for a really distinct setting to flesh out the story. So thank you, everybody.
Hi everyone, my name is Momina, and my project Choose the Fact to Your World is a 3D museum gallery which explores 3 different worlds. Each of the world have 4 images that express a core feeling and emotion that is represented in all the 4 images. To have the emotion portrayed in each image, I used multi-layered images, which means that every image has at least 4 images combined to create the final product. Also, all the images are photographed by me, and therefore I'm not really telling anyone what to feel when you look at the images in each world because everyone has their own experiences, and depending on your own unique interpretation, I just leave it on to the viewer to explore the worlds. However, the way each world is created is like there are some happy days, some sad days, and sometimes it is a mix of both. I want the viewer to experience what my reality of life is while using your own unique interpretation to understand my world. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I am Wan Yi. The title of my artwork is called Remember When. It's basically a digital journal or time capsule of 2020. I wanted it to make something to look back on how different last year has been for me and everybody else. So for this project, I collected different articles, social media posts, personal text messages, pictures, and videos for each month. And with that, I brought everything together into a interactive program, which I designed in Canva and coded in P5.js. So as you saw when you open up the program, the storyline is set 9 years from now, where you find this journal and you can click into it like a computer and browse through the different content that it has. And yeah, that concludes my project. Thank you.
Hi, yes. This is Angel speaking. So the last section would be interlinear. Interlinear deals with pieces in which the motif is metamorphosis, decay, or the relationship between the two. Transformation is the central theme in this subset. The change an individual or group goes through after the journey. Growth and alterations over time, making new pieces from old. This path exhibits a metamorphosis and a rebirth through a transformative process. Thank you.
You're probably confused at what you're looking at right now. You're watching the inner workings of artificial intelligence. Some are made to change the world, and some are just made to make your life a little more convenient. This AI was made to take the fashion industry by storm. In front of you is a neural network, learning from birth what a pattern is and how to make hundreds to even thousands in a matter of hours. Patterns are an art which takes years to master through training and sometimes even a degree. I put an AI to the test to see how closely it could replicate these masters after only 8 hours of training.
So, as I mentioned in my sneak peek, my project was exploring AI, specifically a general adversarial network for any tech people. As a woman in tech, I get a lot of looks, and people are kind of shocked by my successes as if they didn't think I could do it. And people tend to take you even less seriously when you're innovating in a field like fashion, which people automatically assume is a very feminine field. But I wanted to take this and run with it. I didn't want to just do AI in the way that men thought was the right way to do it. I like clothes, so I wanted to make clothes. And there's a long history of women just being the face of lines, but not actually being the ones that are crafting these pieces that are made for their bodies. So as a woman, I wanted to make clothing that made sense to us. I'm also really blessed to have so many identities within me that I connect to. As a Muslim woman, I very rarely see clothes that I can see myself in, let alone in a subset as niche as generative clothing. But because I'm now in this position, I wanted to change that narrative and make clothing that makes sense for me and others who live a similar life. For example, this turtleneck I'm wearing right now is part of the project, and it covers my wrists, if you can see that, up to my neck. But it's still in a fabric that is breathable and I can wear it in the summer. So you'll see throughout my pieces, if you go onto our website, that I'm really intentional in the fabrics that I use to speak on the gaps the fashion industry has left in minority communities. Overall, I recognize that I'm in a position where I'm exploring a very new section of both AI and fashion, and minorities are rarely included at all in either of these industries. So it was really important to me that I put us at the forefront of this conversation.
Okay, thank you so much. Oh, hi, this is Lenya. I'm going to present Thai. For today, I posed 3 photograph collage for today's digital collage. For the first one, there's four stage of the people that represents the difference of age and the difference of the experience that I just want to tell the people we have to save our time in each period of time, especially in the teenagers, in adults, in the old times. We have to thinking about the present, the past, and the futures. We have to keep everything, every second, every minute to save our life, to do the to make the really interesting things, to make the value for the life. Okay, so for the second post, yes, for the second one, there's a combinations from the past, like the beginning of the humans revolutions and the futures of the robots age. That I feels like the time is so fast because there's past like million years from the like monkey to the robot. It's kind of the one thing, but it's not the one thing because the monkey is not like the human and the robot is not like the human either, but the creation is all created by our. So I feel like that's really really cool. And I also post the traditional Chinese on the bottom because I feel like the traditional Chinese is also can represents the million years of time that can present the past, present, and the futures. And for the last photo is what I mean is I want to grab the time. Because I spent like 20 years for the like 10 years, 15 years for the study, and for the future, I'm going to work as my rest of my life. So for me, I just wanted to save my life, to enjoy my life, to like make every second to be valued, to be more interesting. Yeah, that should be all for my presentation. Thank you so much.
Amy's mic isn't working at the moment, so.
Can you guys hear me now? Oh, okay. Hi guys. So my name is Amy, and I'm the creator of the Unity game, The Last Goodbye. So I wanted to center this game around the story and journey of like immigrant parents, or just anyone in general who has to like make a sacrifice of leaving their town or their village behind in hopes of like coming to a better world to like get a better future. Throughout the game, you can interact with different characters who tell you various stories of like your upbringing, and it's kind of sentimental, nostalgic. I hope everyone likes it and get a chance to either play through the game or you guys can watch the trailer on our website. Thank you.
Right. Hello, everyone. So my video was basically the journey it took me to make three art pieces, in which these three art pieces were made from objects that I either found in garbage, donation drives, or pieces, in which I also wanted to find out the value at the end of the day of these pieces and how much they would go for. So at the end of the day, on eBay, you could see that the canvas art piece sold for $1, and I already have that even shipped out and sent out to the customer. And the other two did not sell. So overall, I just wanted to see what the art and economy. So what value does these pieces have on what creates value? So I've started to learn that you just have to make more, I guess, creative pieces, because I feel like the art piece was the most creative one for me, and it sold. So I feel like I want to keep this going. Definitely keep making more art pieces and seeing if they will sell on eBay. So yeah, thank you for your time.
Out of the sunlight, a plant like a fern grows and grows and grows and extends its form. And in this way, its organization prevails.
Well, just noticing. Aha. There's your entry right there. That's that little place. And it starts out with such a subtle little tiny bit of your mind. 99% of your mind is depressed, and 1% is noticing.
Anticipating your dying consciously. With people to learn on the vision course, we do that in meditation.
You will find so many moments in the ordinary life, every day, when the ego can be put aside. And the joy is so great that once you have tasted it, you can do it again and again. And slowly, slowly, you become capable of putting it off unless it is absolutely necessary.
So digital death it's meant to be a virtual reality experience that sort of visualizes what the ego death experience would look like. But I kind of related ego death to how we have multiple cyber personas. So when we turn on our computers, we embody our Instagram persona, our Twitch persona, etc. And I wanted to ask the viewer, like, how would it feel if you actually turned off those egos, those different personas, and went back to who you truly were? Like how in this world of selfies and social media and surveillance capitalism, how much more difficult is it to, quote, turn on, tune in, and drop out, as Tim Leary would say? So like other people in my generation, I have battled self-esteem issues caused by basically social media. And I just kind of wanted to, like I've never experienced ego death myself, but I wanted to kind of put in like what I imagine it to be. So it is a VR game, and there are some little details that I will be adding to it as well before it goes up on itch. But yeah, definitely keep an eye out for that. Thank you.
With less people?
For the grant.
Outbreak. The U.S. Embassy in
Okay, I'm bored in the house and I'm in the house bored.
Heart.
Hi, everyone. My name is Christina. For my work, it's called The Social Cloud. It's a collection of 365 days of all the social media stories that I've posted on social media. And I put them in a calendar kind of format, and I've collected it on the dates and put them where they belonged. And it was I really wanted to portray, like, even though it's about my personal experiences, I wanted to have like a connection with whoever is seeing it, because I feel like during the pandemic, we did collectively just do the same things or had the same kind of like social trends or seen the same stuff. So I'm hoping to connect with the viewers there and see what we've collectively gone through during 2020. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brian. So in this first image, I was actually traveling with my group of friends when we discussed my capstone project, and I found out that there's these giant ice caves up in New Hampshire. So I really wanted to capture this image. So a little background, basically Hour Zero is a collection of work that I feel like speaks to where we are right now collectively as a generation dealing with the climate crisis and the changes of the world in a situation we're handed and we can't do much about. And I have a lot of background in photography. That is my chosen medium. And I
have also a lot of experience with social media. And I feel like people don't pay attention to things unless they're beautiful. People don't want to realize the collective destructive actions that we are all taking unless we are made to pay attention. And there's definitely countless of information everywhere being thrown against us from all different sources, but nothing has really taken effect or not much change is being made. So this is another direction that I'm taking in relaying the message and my feelings towards the subject. We are at hour zero. Like, our climate planet is not going to get any better unless we decidedly take major actions. And what really triggered this body work was the clock that was installed in Union Square, counting down the days of our demise and counting down the actual day that we will reach a point of no return. And currently the clock is counting down to 7 years, which is not really that much time in the grand scheme of things. So here's my body of work in terms of my feelings for that. This first image is called Breaking Point. And the second image, Brian, you could scroll down, is called Eternal Flame. And then the third image from that is called Gone Fishing. And then the fourth image, In Sickness and in Health, kind of a commentary of what we're living through right now through the pandemic. And then the next image is kind of like the same take on the first, but a more of a silhouette. The first image in this image is actually a composite of the images I took below freezing temp in New Hampshire, with kind of a scan of a plastic bag that I have put through the scanner, and I outlined it with that on top of the image. And then this last image in this set is called Wildfire, and I took that in Joshua Tree. And below, when you guys do have the time, there's 2 audio interviews on different perspectives. I have interviewed from very different people of different walks of life on their take of the climate change. We have a nursing student currently, Gen Z, same age as me, living through this, and also an immigrant actually from Uruguay, talking about a perspective of what it's like to live through collectively the climate change crisis in a whole different perspective of being a 57-year-old immigrant, and what it's like also to be taught that, or the lack of, in South America. So yeah, thank you so much, guys. This is my project.
Unmute. Thank you, everyone. This was really amazing. It was so wonderful to see the presentations about all of your work. So we're going to now take a moment to see if anyone has questions in the audience, comments, curiosities, and we will open the floor up to the audiences out on the internet. So I think Brian will be taking over that moderation now, so I will mute myself. Well, if there aren't any questions, would anybody care to speak about the process that you went through to organize and come together under this umbrella of Interomnia? No? All right. Well, we can wrap this up a little sooner than later in that case, because it doesn't look like we have too many questions from our audience, but everyone seemed to really enjoy the exhibition. I thought it was just incredible how everyone was able to interweave and come together to form, a really unique strategy of composing all of these various works and really kind of breaking everything down to see sort of the connective points of how every idea, medium came together into one one sort of basket. I would say there's just something kind of incredible about the process that happened this semester, especially because it's been another semester online. So it's a different form of community to create in this digital space. Even though we're making digital works, there's something like amplified by the fact that we're also kind of separated by the screen from interacting with one another. Yes, Professor Behar has a question. So let me see here. Okay, Professor Behar asks, did you intentionally gear these themes in your curation?
I think I can speak on that. I actually really was surprised how the whole class kind of like had our own projects proposals and like thought process, and then at the end of it I think raised a concern to Professor Dominica about whether or not everything is actually going to be a cohesive body of work in terms of a gallery. But then she was really creative in that way that she like did several exercises for us to narrow down exactly what worked for each other. So we started with like kind of a word association exercise where we would like name several words that we thought of when we kind of thought of as our projects, like what 3 words would we use to describe our project, and each person wrote that, and then we started like a Google like sheet, and we saw that a lot of the words that we were choosing or wanting to associate with our project kind of connected with one another, and then we invited our other classmates to add on to the words on what they thought, and then like at the end of the day it kind of like came together on its own. So it's like a very collaborative process of everybody having these associations of what they got out of the project and what we individually got out of the project. And once we've decided on the 3 words that we wanted to go with, we kind of saw that there was a recurring theme, and we narrowed it down to the 3 subcategories that we now have on the site. And then like overall, like I was really surprised on how it came out, but it really did work itself out. And I think that's the magic of art. Each person can walk away with our project with a completely different perspective, and what we saw at the beginning to what we have now might have also been such a different thought, because I definitely have that experience for my own project. And overall, I think the class kind of just worked with each other when we decided on the subcategories and like pivoting or narrowing it down. So that's how the themes of our creation came to be. Thank you so much, Professor Behar, for the question.
And before we end, I wanted to also plug the next exhibition that's being held by the New Media Art Space, Resemblance. We're going to have also another live stream launch, and that's going to be, I believe, on June 17th at 6 p.m. So definitely keep an eye out for that. It'll be on our social media as well.
Yeah, and also the link to the full exhibition is at the bottom of the YouTube stream. So feel free to check that out, and you can download some of the games and play them. So a lot of the pieces, I think this was also something really wonderful, is that everyone in the class really thought deeply about how to create more dynamic engagement and how does an online exhibition live in a way that the viewers want to actually take part in the exhibition and just don't flip through and kind of leave the exhibition. So there are a lot of really great pieces that allow you to either interact fully with the works, listen to the works. There are so many different varieties of media that people attributed in their pieces. So thank you all so much for the thoughtful works that you created this semester.
Thank you, Professor.
So I think, will we be ending the
Thank you so much. Thank you, Brian, for helping us with this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.